Hey guys, my name is John.
And I'm Kanisha.
And welcome back to our channel. So in today's video, we will be discussing credit scores.
We'll cover what exactly is a credit score,
Who decides your credit score,
why is it important,
and where can you find it,
also we'll give you some tips on how to build credit for the first time,
and how to maintain it. So stay tuned.
Primo, DMV Wealth Builders, let's get it. Yeah, talking about finances, real estate, make a check, reinvest back into the block. Talking brick by brick, get your budget right, build your credit up so you never stop. Yeah, you gotta keep going. I know times get hard and you gotta be smart, but we all tryna win, so we gotta tap in if we tryna go far. Yeah, that's how you build wealth. Yeah, that's how you build wealth in the DMV. Yeah, that's how you build wealth. Yeah, that's how you build wealth in the DMV. Yeah, that's how you build wealth.
Alright guys, so what is a credit score? A credit score is basically a 3-digit number anywhere between 350 and 850. 350 being the worst of the worst, 850 being the best.
Yep. It's basically also, you could think of it as a way that lenders look at you financially to see if you're financially trustworthy.
Boom. Also, so let's say if you got a 350 credit score, if hopefully you shouldn't, but if you do, you are looked at more of a risk to the bank, right? Versus if you have something like a 850 or excellent, you are less of a risk to the banks. So think of it like that.
So there are 6 categories that create your credit score. One is your payment history. Do you make your payments on time? If you make payments on time, then that's going to increase your credit score. If you happen to make payments late or not at all, then your credit score is going to go down. Another category that affects your credit score is how long have you had your oldest account open. This can be your credit card account or your debit account. How long have you had that account open? That shows lenders how experienced you are. The third category would be your credit utilization, which is basically how much, what percent do you use of your credit. So if you have a credit card of $1,000, you want to make sure that you're only using 30% of that $1,000. So that would be $300. So you do not want to go over 30% of however much credit line you have.
So another category is recent inquiries. So inquiry is basically who pulled your credit and why they pulled it. Another category could be new account openings. So how many accounts you have open? Like you said, your credit card or debit card, student loans, mortgages, whatever line of credit you have that's open. They look at that, see how long it's been open, and are you making your payments on time and stuff like that. And the 6th category is your total credit line. So your total credit line is how much credit you are handling at once. It kind of it kind of goes into new accounts, but not really. But it talks about how much you have in all. Right,
so I guess I could give an example of that just to clarify your total credit line. If you only have one credit card that's $1,000, then your total credit line is $1,000. If you have 2 credit cards and one is $1,000 and your second credit card is $2,000, your total credit line is $3,000.
Perfect. Boom. There you go. So who comes up with the scores?
So there are, actually there's multiple credit reporting agencies, but there are 3 top well-known credit reporting agencies, also called bureaus. They are TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax.
And guess what?
So all these 3 different credit reporting agencies, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, they all use a different scoring card to determine your credit score. So you have more than one credit score. So you will see 3 different credit scores from 3 different companies. You do not need to be alarmed. Pretty much you are in the same financial situation. It's just that each system or each company uses a different scoring system.
Alright, so guys, before we move on, we do want to disclose that we are not like financial experts, right? So don't use our advice to, make your financial decisions. We're simply showing you what we have done over the past couple of years to maintain a certain credit score. And we're sharing this with you guys so that you can possibly use it and possibly get better with your credit score. But again, we're not authorized to give you financial advice. So there you go. Make sure you do your own research on that.
Alright, so why is this 3-digit little number so important? It's important when it's time for you to apply for a house, if you want to apply for a car, if you need to open up a credit card, maybe you are trying to get an insurance quote from an insurance company, or you are trying to change your service plan with your cell phone.
So how can you find your credit score? So it's multiple ways you can find your credit score. And the most, popular way is to go to annualcreditreport.com. If you didn't know, because I really didn't know this either, and I'm learning this and I'm sharing this with you guys, is that you can get your credit report and score for free on annualcreditreport.com. And we are entitled to one free annual credit report, and it shows us a breakdown on how our credit is pulled and how we're using it, basically, right? I'm sorry. So another one would be Credit Karma. I use Credit Karma all the time. So even though Credit Karma may not be as accurate, if you didn't know that, it's not as accurate as your official score. I really don't know why. It just is what it is. Maybe it's late catching up. But anyway, but when you open the app and you sign in and everything like that, it shows you the breakdown of your credit report. So it shows you your credit utilizations. It shows you how much credit you have. It shows you the 6 categories that we talked about earlier in the video, and how you are using it, right?
And also, if you have a credit card, let's say with Capital One, for example, you can log in through your Capital One mobile app, or you can go online and you can also see your credit score and report.
I use that one as well too.
So tips for building credit for first time people or college students in that age group. So what you want to make sure that you do is establish a banking account. So that means you want to make sure you have a debit account, checking, savings, if you don't already have it. You also want to make sure that you pay your bills on time. So if you only have one bill, such as your cell phone bill, you want to pay that cell phone bill off on time every month. Another option is to open a secured credit card, because when you are young, you typically don't have a high credit score. And I know for myself, when I was in college, I had a very low credit score, and I was not able to take out loans on my own. So what I did was 2 things. One, I opened up a secured credit card with Capital One, and I also had my aunt co-sign for me on a loan. So having that secured credit card and also taking a loan out but having a co-signer increased my credit score tremendously.
So a secured credit card is basically a card where you load money onto and you can only spend what you put in. So if you put $500 into this card, guess what? You can only spend $500. And they do that because they just setting you up and to build your credit.
So one thing to note, whether you are taking out a secure credit card or any credit card or even a personal loan, you want to make sure that you are being financially responsible. You'll hear people tell you like, no, you should never open up a credit card. How you use your credit card really determines if it will hurt you or help you. So if you have a credit card or a loan, you can use it to help you build up your credit score, or if you're irresponsible, it will bring your credit score down. So the goal is to try to use whatever you have responsibly.
For example, if you just ask your mom or something for like $35, $40, $100, whatever, you probably shouldn't be trying to take out a loan. Only because, well, it depends on what you need the money for. I'm just saying. But only because if you need the money because you simply just didn't have it, like you made it spend, you got paid and you spent all your money, and you ask your mom, pops, uncle, whoever for $25 or however much you ask them for, then you probably shouldn't be taking that loan out, because the bank's gonna want their money, right? And they not gonna be as forgiving as your relatives are. Like, oh, don't worry about it, pay me next month. Nah, banks want their money on time every month. So if you don't pay them on time every month, okay, they say, okay, well, I'll report this to your credit report, and I'm gonna make sure that no other banks lend to you. So that's why it's very important. If you know you live in paycheck to paycheck, don't worry about that. Your first thing should be to how can I stop living paycheck to paycheck, and you can find that in one of our previous videos. So go check it out.
And now for tips on how to either restore your credit score or maintain a good credit score.
Alright, so I'm going to go personal on this one. For me, I would say, honestly, keep your credit utilization as low as possible. As low as possible. The rule of thumb is 30%. But if you keep it below that, then you're good. You're good. For me, what I do, the only thing I pay is my cell phone bill, and I pay that off every month. My cell phone bill is not too much, but I don't really use my credit card.
But let me say this, okay? Let me say this. That's fine. That definitely will help your credit score increase or stay good. However, if you want your number to increase more, let's say your credit score is like 750 and you want it to go up more than 750. If you keep paying the same bill every single month perfectly on your credit card, you're just using the same amount of money on your credit card every single month, that's good. It's gonna keep your credit score good. However, if you take a risk and one month you make a payment up to that 30%, what is your 30%, John? No, okay.
I don't know, because I don't go past my. So credit wise, which on Capital One, they say I don't go past 2%.
Okay,
I'm good.
Give me a fake number of what's your total amount of your credit card.
A fake number? Why you want a fake number
because
for?
It's scammers out here.
Alright, let's say if my credit line was like $10,000.
Okay, so if your credit card is $10,000, and how much do you pay on your insurance every month?
I pay probably for 2 cars, I got about $150.
So you only pay $150 every month?
No, I pay my phone bill, not my insurance. I pay my phone bill on my credit card, not my insurance.
Okay, but how much do you charge your credit card every month?
$75.
So $75. You have a credit line of $10,000 and you only charge $75 a month.
I'm good.
That is good. I'm not saying that it's bad. Trust me, it's good because your credit score, that does show, that you pay your bills on time. That's a part of one of the categories to keep your credit score good. However, if you want to increase your credit score, you basically have to take a little bit of a risk. I'm not saying go crazy.
And max that motherfucker out. No, don't do that.
I'm not saying max out your credit card. But 30% of 10,000 is what, 3,000? So you have, I would say, up to 3,000 to spend. And you only spending $75 a month. So I would say at least one random month, just one time, buy your groceries with your credit card. Your groceries probably be like $150, $200. So that month, that $200 for your groceries plus your $75 for your insurance is $275, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that month, you basically charge $275 on your credit card. You're taking a risk.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But we also need to explain this too for you guys, right? Once you take that risk, that don't mean the money that you was going to spend on your debit card to just go spend on a fucking Gucci shirt or something. That mean take that money you was going to spend anyway and just pay your credit card back off. Right. So let's not get that confused, all right?
Yeah. The point is that sometimes you want to take a risk with your credit line. You don't want to just stay stable because you want your credit score to improve. And your credit score is always going to be changing because there's 6 different categories that affect it. So don't be alarmed if your credit score drops a little and then goes back up, vice versa. So the point that I'm just trying to point out is that it's okay if you make $75 a month on your credit card, this $10,000. But sometimes just take a small risk because it will help your credit score to jump up.
Mm-hmm. So I definitely agree. I do agree because nowadays your bank saying that you're using it a little bit more and that you're paying it off. So if you use it a lot, like you said, if you take that risk and you use it, let's say in May, right? As soon as that transaction posts in May, your best bet is to take that money, your money that you earn, and then pay it off, right? So credit card say, oh, he used it, but he paid it off. Are you good? You know what I'm saying? All right. So what's some other ways you can restore or maintain a good credit score? Because we kind of like beat that one to death.
I'm not sure if we said it already, but make sure you pay your bills on time, of course. Do not close any credit card just because you haven't used it in a while. So if you have a credit card and you haven't used it in 6 months, you don't need to close it just yet. I mean, if you want to close it in the future, that's fine. But just be careful, because every time you close your credit card or something like that, it could decrease your credit score. So if you plan on using it in the future, even if it's one time, you don't need to close it.
Exactly. Another way to maintain a good credit score is take advantage of that one time a year that we can pull a credit report. Take advantage of that, because you never know. Like, you may have something on your account that you probably paid off 3 years ago, and you was like, why is it on my report, man? I paid this off 3 years ago, and you got the proof that you paid it off. You just simply call them up, make a dispute to whoever, and be like, hey man, I paid this off 3 years ago. I got documentation, and they simply just gonna swoop, erase it right off your report, and you're good. You know.
It probably won't be that easy, but hopefully it is.
Yeah, it won't be that easy. You're right, but it'll be like a small little process, but it's worth it, because you don't want Sam, Ham, whatever, be sitting on your credit report saying, hey, you owe us money when you already paid them off. That's just something you don't want. Anything else?
Try not to have your credit pulled too often. So if you're about to buy a house or buy something and you need a loan, just make sure that you're very careful how many times you get your credit pulled, because you don't want the number to keep going down and down and down. Also, another thing that you could do, if you already have a credit card, you can ask your credit card company for an increase, because increasing your total credit line or increasing the limit on your card is going to increase your total credit line. So an example would be, if you have a credit card for $1,000 and the other credit card is for $2,000, you can ask for a credit line increase, and they may increase one of your cards to $5,000. So now you have a total of $6,000. So that definitely plays a role in your credit score.
And if they do agree to increase it to $5,000, $10,000, whatever they increase it to, that don't mean go out and that don't mean you got $10,000 in your pocket. That don't mean you got $5,000 in your pocket. That means you got a line of credit, or you got a credit card limit to $10,000. I mean, you can spend up to $10,000, but if you spend up to $10,000, which you probably shouldn't be doing anyway, because you want to keep it below 30%. But if you do spend up to $10,000, you better have that $10,000 in cash to pay them back, because if you don't, they gonna hit you in the long run. You'll be mad. You'll be like, damn, why I do this? And then it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt you. But yeah.
Okay. And just to reiterate what we said earlier, we are not offering any legal or financial instructions. We're just trying to tell you what we learned and how we improved on our credit scores. So don't think that you have to open up a credit card or take out a loan if you personally don't want to. Right.
So it's all up to you how much you think you can handle, right? So please don't go out there asking for like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of loans if you know you can't handle it, right? But yeah, so that's our take on that. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate the love. Shout out to our new subscribers. If you know anybody that this video can benefit, please share this video with someone, and encourage them to subscribe as well. Guys, thank you again so much. We love you, and we see you in the next video.
Well, I don't know if we love you, but we do appreciate you.
We appreciate you. I love you guys, man. I don't care what she say. But we see y'all in the next video, man. Bye.
What?
DMV Wealth Builders.